just by shifting a little bit more into the Roth, little by little. All right. And I can assure you, the IRS is not here to teach us or help us. They don't have calculators on their website to try to teach Americans how to pay them less tax on their retirement savings. They're not going to send you brochures or pamphlets in the mail, so you're not going to get alerted to this stuff. And your CPA is likely not helping you with this kind of stuff either. Neither is the place handling your 401k. Thrift savings plan, they don't give tax advice. A lot of people work for the federal government that are listeners of the show. The city, if you work for the city, no one from Nationwide's calling you up with your deferred comp to give you advice, tax-wise. Maybe you have money in TIAA or Principal or Vanguard or Fidelity or Lincoln. I mean, those places don't typically give tax advice, and people need it. And a lot of people who need it the most are people that don't even know it, don't even know they need it. So look, if you've built some significant savings in your retirement accounts, let's say over a few $100,000 between yourself and your spouse, then grab your phone right now. All right, I'm going to give you a phone number to call, and I will personally build you your very own investment plan and tax plan, completely complimentary. All right, but here's the thing. I'm only going to do this for the next 5 people who call the phone number I'm about to give. All right, and as we wrap up the show, I just think it's nice to mention that I can do this on the Zoom video conferences. Mm-hmm. All right, you don't even have to drive and sit in traffic to get this done. This is great for busy people. Busy people are typically the ones with the biggest accounts, and they're the ones who typically need my help the most. They just got to carve out the time. Sometimes it's just a half hour, 30 minutes, or an hour or something like that. Evening or weekend, we can make that happen. So we just want to make sure that you're on the best path for your retirement savings. We want to make sure you're not putting money into ill-fitting types of accounts. And if you're just putting it only into a 401k, that could be coming back to bite you from a tax standpoint. And we want to make sure if you're approaching retirement that you're not planning on making withdrawals from just one account or the other. You got to use those various types of accounts, the IRA, the Roth, the bank savings. You got to use them in the most tax efficient order. So grab your phone now. I'm only going to do this for the next 5 people that call. And it's my way of giving back to our listeners. I've been doing this for a long time, 27 years. This one completely on the house. So why don't you see what I have to share with you? Take me up on the offer. It's a good move for you. The number to call, 610-894-7415. Again, 610-894-7415. I want you between 50 and 75 and you have at least a few $100,000 saved, bank savings, annuities, all of that counts. 401ks, IRAs, brokerage accounts, all of that. Anything except real estate. And we just want to get all of it laid out in front of us and be able to spot ways to make our money more efficiently from a tax standpoint, Chris.
As we're about a month away from the tax filing deadline, don't neglect that by any means. In the next 20, 30 years, looking through the windshield rather than the rearview mirror, let Jim Cipriotti use his 27 plus years of experience to work for you and putting together this comprehensive retirement plan. Be one of the next 5 callers, 610-894-7415. You can always find them online, retirereadyfg.com. I want to thank you, as always, for joining us right here on Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti. Hope you have a great week ahead of you. Hope you get to enjoy some of this great sunshine that we've got out there. Take care of one another. Jim, always appreciate the time. As we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with the final word.
Well, thanks, Chris. Always like to remind the listeners, get that second opinion. Someone like myself can give you a fresh set of eyes, especially from the tax planning side. If you're not getting that type of guidance, now's the time. So hope everyone has a fantastic weekend and looking forward to next time.
If you have questions or concerns about reaching your retirement goals, then give Retire Ready Financial Group a call, 610-894-7415, or visit online at retirereadyfg.com.
Investment advice offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, Pennsylvania registered investment advisor, able to provide investment advice in states where it is registered, exempt, or excluded from registration. Content contained herein should not be construed as an offer or solicitation for investment advice or for the purchase or sale of any security, insurance, or other investment product. Investments involve the risk of loss, including possible loss of principal. Please consult with a qualified financial, tax, accounting, or legal professional before implementing any ideas or strategies discussed here. Content provided is obtained from sources believed to be reliable but cannot be guaranteed as to its accuracy or completeness.
This program is paid for by Retire Ready Financial Group. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Retire Ready Financial Group or their guests and do not reflect the views of WPHT or Odyssey. Today's program is pre-recorded.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3. 93 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Barry, Sable, and Friends on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Well, good morning. You have tuned into the Barry Sable Show with Friends. Always grateful to you for spending some time on your Sunday mornings with me. Yes, I am streaming live on YouTube. Call-in number is 855-839-1210. Also, my friend Tom Azelby on Saturday from 8 to 9, always making it interesting. Yes, I was bumped last week for sports, Penn State sports. So I had a lot of time to think about things that have unnerved me. I always ask the same thing to guests, what unnerves you? And we're going to talk about that in the morning. As you could tell, I'm a little nasal over here. Kirk Corliss on the other side. I think you're a little sick as well.
I am a little bit.
What's your symptoms, my friend? It's amazing I'm here today because for the last 3 days, I couldn't get my head off the pillow.
Yeah, same here. But I have I have willpower to get up in the morning and strive. And I'm congested. My ears are a little clogged up, but I'm still here though. But I always look forward to you, Uncle Barry.
Thank you.
And this show and the weekend show, and when I get home, I'm gonna rest.
Yeah, me too. Well, I don't like to miss a show. I mean, radio is precious to me, and as time goes on, I think there's so many interesting things that are happening in this country that we need to address. And it gives me an opportunity on Sunday morning, rather than hit the golf course this early. When I'm healthy, I will hit the golf course at a later date. But I want to make a few statements. Number one, foremost, I am not a journalist. I listen to experts. I gather information and a report. Of course, I have my opinions, of which I interject. But I'm a presenter, and for you, it's your job to determine what your interest, your fate, and your direction is going to be for you and your family. And as I talk to people during the week, for God's sakes, so many people say the same thing to me. Uncle Barry, I get home from work, whether it's a wife and husband both working, and they have kids and they have a dog and they take care of their parents or they interject their thoughts with friends and they really don't have time for politics. And I have to tell you the truth, that's probably a good thing, but not such a good thing. And the reason I say that is because these people actually vote and they actually determine the fate of America. And I think that, unfortunately, I call on more people to get interested in knowing what's going on in our country. Because as you could see, we'll just take Jersey as an example. I looked at my electric and gas bill the other day. Oh, my God. My electric and gas bill's got to be up, oh, my God, I guess over $250 per month from what it was last year. And we don't have to go back through the Jack Ciattarelli campaign as he campaigned on energy and so many other things. But if we continue to vote in people that don't take an interest in us as citizens of the United States, we have to pay. So what I was thinking, and I want to start with today, is pre-Donald Trump and his last administration win in 2024, I want to go back before he took office. And I want to actually break down why we are in a war with Iran and why it's so important. So just bear with me. I'm a little sick. I might wheeze. I might sneeze a little. I might cough. But just stay with me. In 2023, Hamas raided Israel, killing over 1,200 people in a surprise attack, mutilating men and women and children as well. At the same time, they took over 200 hostages were taken, and Israel went on a campaign to try and free its citizens that were being, as I say, held hostage. We all remember that vividly. The Joe Biden administration was restraining the necessarily the necessary military means to Israel. And we saw this and we witnessed this. And there were so many protests in the street. You remember all this stuff, college campuses, for God's sakes. Um, this was our country was in a total mess. I never saw our country like that before. Yeah, there might have been some protests, but nothing like this. Um, there was the Russian-Ukraine war that when Donald Trump came back into office, he inherited that situation. I guess we gave them somewhere around $350 billion in that campaign war, and that was a nonsensical war. Now, most people maybe don't understand, and from what I understand, it was simple. Many moons ago, Ukraine gave up the ability to have nuclear. So what happened is they wanted to become part of NATO. And Russia said, absolutely not. And I guess Russia didn't want missiles on the Ukraine-Russia border. They gave us plenty of time for the Biden administration to negotiate that out, and it didn't happen. That was terrible. And look at all the lives now. For what? There's so many people from Ukraine and so many people from Russia. And what's worse is that there are many families. I don't know. There's so many families that were united. Some lived in Russia, some lived in Ukraine, that are actually, I can't say fighting against each other, but have different interests if they have allegiance to their country. So, having said all that, let me continue where I may be. Got to get my thoughts in line here. And by the way, Ukraine was funding Hamas during that period of time, and the Houthis and Hezbollah, causing a total Middle East conflict and unrest in the entire area. How that happened? Obama, and let me look at the numbers here. I think it says Obama gave Iran $1.7 billion to basically go away. Good luck with that. You saw what happened with that. And Biden released $6 billion of frozen funds. That propelled and gave the head of the snake, which is Iran, the ability to finance these other terrorist groups, which really caused such a conflict in the Middle East. So, having said that, let's fast forward to Venezuela, who was supplying oil to Cuba, China, and Russia. So we know about that. During this period of time, the United States of America had a judgment against Venezuela. Venezuela owed ConocoPhillips roughly $8.7 billion from 2019, with an enforcement recognized by, I believe it was a Trinidad court, and ExxonMobil $188 million award for naturalized assets, to mention just a few. And I think there was a few other major oil companies as well. So what happened was, this gave the United States of America the ability, when cargo ships were transporting oil out of Venezuela, gave the United States of America the ability to take those ships. So now Cuba doesn't have energy. That was a cutoff of Venezuela supplying energy to Russia and China. That was really a very cool move. Let me just continue for a minute, because I'll circle back in a second. Also, President Nicolas Maduro, well, the United States had federal charges against him and several associates, and you saw what happened. We swooped in, we picked up him, and hopefully there'll be a change of the regime in Venezuela. Why is this important? Because to me, the Orange Man had a plan. So what was the plan? If you remember, he went back And rather than have conflicts with Middle East countries, he wanted to do business with them. And that's what he started to do. Let's do business rather than fight, which all these years in the Middle East there was unrest. His thought was, I'm going to do business with the Middle East. And I'm going to make, quotes, friends or business partners. And I'm going to take away this conflict. That's pretty smart, really smart. Then his next plan was he bombed Iran. We all remember that. And the left, the left, was saying, oh, how do we know that all their nukes are ruined and destroyed? Well, we don't know. But at least he took the first step, because Iran has always told us that they are coming for the Western civilization. Of course, if they had a nuclear bomb, what's going to happen in the Middle East? You could see right now Iran is bombing some of its associate countries, Muslim countries. It's incredible to me. But Israel, can I tell you something, would have been in such trouble. So Donald Trump had, as I say, this game plan. Let's do business with countries in the Middle East, which now seems to have paid off. He took care of nuclear to a certain degree. And yes, Venezuela has now procured more, and now you can see what's happening there. And by the way, he then went into Venezuela, and now you're going to find Cuba's going to fall. So what is he doing? The countries that are our nemesis, the countries that we need to be worried about, China, Russia, Venezuela. We'll talk about North Korea in a second, even though North Korea is remaining silent, so I don't think there's much going on there. And Cuba and Iran, he's now taking care of all this. His plan is to realign the globe, and he's doing a great job at it. And for people to sit and talk about when's the war going to end. I mean, come on. You know, in 1968, I'll never forget, I graduated high school. I graduated at 16, and I put my number in to go. That's what you did. You put your number in case you got drafted. God forbid my number had come up, because I would have ended up in Vietnam, I guess. Who knows? But the bottom line I'm trying to tell you is that wars, Vietnam War took a long time. Iraq War took a long time. Afghanistan took a long time. We're in Iran right now for a few weeks. And I have to tell you the truth, for whatever length of time it takes to procure that country and hopefully set the people of that country free is paramount. Now, personally, I don't trust the Iranian people. No way, Jose. For 47 years, and I have a list, and maybe after the break, I'll be able to give you a list of the things that Iran did to America over the last 10 years or so, or even more. I don't trust them. But I have to tell you the truth. If we can make sure that Iran doesn't have a nuclear bomb and can't do harm to Western civilization, we are so far ahead of the game. And I don't care if you're on the left, if you're on the right, if you're in the middle. We have women and men soldiers in the Middle East. We need to secure them. We need to pray for them. And I don't want to hear from the left anything. We don't want to lose any lives. If this takes a month or 2 or 3, whatever it takes, you got to finish the job. Kirk, on the other side of the glass, I'm out of breath. You have been listening to the Barry Sable Show with Friends, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Thank you for joining me this morning.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
Retirement. Exciting, but also kind of scary. How do you create that paycheck to do everything you want to do? Tune in to the Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen, Saturdays at 6 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Texting enrolls in recurring automated text marketing messages. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply. Reply help for help or stop to opt out.
Are you drinking too much? Is alcohol affecting your relationships? Could drinking be affecting your job?
Hi, I'm Jonathan, founder of Or Health. I struggled with alcohol misuse for 15 years. I tried self-help, therapy, and traditional 12-step programs, but nothing really worked. That's why I started Or Health. Or Health provides access to safe and effective medication, FDA approved for the treatment of alcohol issues. A daily pill proven to reduce alcohol cravings and make it easier to drink less or quit.
To join the thousands who are drinking less or who have quit altogether, text EASY to 71888. You'll be sent a secure link to Or Health's private online assessment. If treatment is right for you, a licensed medical professional will prescribe medication for discreet and convenient delivery to your door. Just text EASY to 71888. That's EASY to 71888.
Not available in all states. For SMS terms, privacy policy, risk, and restrictions, please go to orhealth.com/terms. Use as directed.
Larry Older here. You know, one of the most rewarding parts of sharing Relief Factor with you is hearing real stories like that of Sandra. She tells us, I've been hearing about Relief Factor on the radio for a couple of years, and I finally decided to try it because nothing else was helping my back pain. I know the feeling. With a 3-week quick start, she said, I went for it. Now I feel like a new person. That's Sandra's own words, and it's so gratifying to hear. I've told you about my brother Kirk, having difficulty going up and down the stairs in the morning. He wouldn't listen to me. I told him to take Relief Factor. He finally did. Began moving better, feeling stronger. Too bad he didn't listen earlier. Try it for yourself. The 3-week quick start. And see how Relief Factor could be your game changer too. It is only $19.95. Think about it. Do the math. Less than $1 a day. So call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. All one word, relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? 800-4RELIEF, relieffactor.com.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Yes, indeedy, I am back. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Sick as a dog, it doesn't matter. I can't even think. I hope what I said made sense to you. So I kind of want to recap before I play a clip. So what I see occurring in the world today is you're going to liberate Iran, and I believe that once that happens, and it's going to take some time because I don't even know how that's going to go down. I don't even know if anybody knows how it's going to go down because those people, they don't have guns. So how are they going to defend themselves against this regime? I have no clue. But at least it's a start. The first thing we need to do is protect America and protect our allies in the Middle East, Israel, and whoever else may be. And I think that for sure we're doing this. And what I call it is it's a gateway to peace. I mean, if you liberate, I can't imagine how women in this country can't be thrilled for women around the world. And they're protesting in New York and places like that. I mean, it's nauseating to me. I mean, I love having, the First Amendment, but when you abuse it, for God's sakes, we are liberating. So if we liberate, think about our enemies, which is Iran. I will never trust them, but nevertheless, if they're liberated, and you liberate Venezuela and you do business with the people in Venezuela, and if you end up, Cuba is next in line. 100% Cuba is going to fall. Economically, they're drowning right now. And I believe I heard that there are talks now between Cuba, that they've reached out to the White House. This is exactly what the plan was that Donald Trump had. He's not expected to tell us what's going on. You voted for someone. He's your captain. He's your guy. You got to let him kind of do his thing. And that's just the way that goes. So as I say, Cuba relies on Venezuela for oil. Now they've got problems. Now they have problems because they're not getting oil. So, Kirk, let's play. I think Rubio did a great job, thanks, in playing this clip and telling us what exactly is happening in the Middle East. Can we play that?
Let me explain to you guys this in simple English, okay? Iran is run by lunatics, religious fanatic lunatics. They have an ambition to have nuclear weapons. They intend to develop those nuclear weapons behind a program of missiles and drones and terrorism that the world will not be able to touch them for fear of those things. And this is the weakest they've ever been. Now is the time to go after them. The president made the decision to go after them, take away their missiles, take away their navy, take away their drones, take away their ability to make those things so that they can never have a nuclear weapon. That's why the president made this decision. It was the right decision, and the world will be a safer place when these radical clerics no longer have access to these weapons. You see how they're using them now. Imagine how they would use them a year from now if they had more of these.
Yep. What a truer statement I've never heard. That's basically the game plan. So for anybody in this country to question what's going on is disgraceful. Also, as I always say, there's so many people in this country that are clueless about what is actually going on in politics. We all kind of dislike politics. We know that. I mean, we feel like we're bamboozled. And as the show goes on today, I have a series of clips that that we're going to talk about and talk about the philosophies of what's actually happening in this country. But I do want to talk about something. I want to talk about the SAVE Act before we get to our next break. And what is the SAVE Act? What basically it is we are asking that all people that vote are American citizens. Well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. People that have earned the right to participate here, they need to be an American citizen. We know how the Democrats, what they want to do. That's how they gain votes. I mean, you saw coming through the border, all these people come through the border that had T-shirts on, for Joe Biden. Where they get T-shirts from? So the Democrats have a different philosophy of how to attract voters and how to win elections, and obviously it's kind of foolish, and they got bumped pretty good. Nevertheless, what is the problem with the SAVE Act now? The reason that this will not go through or hasn't been able to go through and the Republicans can't get enough votes is because the Democrats have stopped that. And how did they stop it? By saying what we want to defund ICE and we want to defund the Border Patrol people. You have to be out of your mind to want to do both of those things. Why would you defund ICE? Now, look, I've talked about this on the air many times. Personally, I think there was a better plan in the deportation of people. I would have liked to seen, as I say before, 90 or 120 days, every single person that's here illegal has to come forward and register so we know who they are. I don't understand why the government did not do that. I think that would have caused less of an unrest because there's people obviously that have been here for 20, 25 years. They built businesses and they built families here and have homes, and they just overstayed their visas or their college their college stay, if you want to say. My head is spinning, so just bear with me. But I think you get the point. Me personally, they broke the law. That's the way it goes. But at least if we know who they are, we have a thought process that we're not going to deport those people. I have to tell you, ICE is a very difficult job. We've seen how ICE has been treated in all these sanctuary cities. How despicable is that? And frankly, and I hope you don't be offended, women, but liberal women, for some odd reason, I have no idea, have thrown their hat into the ringer and have supported, I guess maybe they're getting paid. I don't really know. They know. Why would you throw your hat in the ringer? We need to get rapists. We need to get guys out of here that are drug dealers. murderers. They have to. We let so many people in. And as I've said, I was at the border and I talked about that. I watched these people coming in vetted, and we don't even know who they are, and they're all over the country. And now you could start to see what's happening. You could see over the weekend or over the last week at the synagogue, this guy was in a truck or a car, and he rammed into the front door of a synagogue. Wow. So much anti-Semitism. And I'm, as you know, I'm Jewish, and I call out my Jewish friends and my Jewish people. What are you doing? What are you doing to vote for people on the left right now who are not supporting us? Frankly, not supporting anybody. It's terrible. Now, look now, right now, because of what's happening with this SAFE Act not going through and the government shutdown. If you go to the airport, okay, you can't get through TSD or whatever it is called. Like, my head is spinning as I say. The Coast Guard's not getting paid. The Border Patrol's not getting paid. There's a lot of people that are not getting paid. Controllers, airport controllers are not getting paid. You got to be kidding. How could you possibly allow America to be at such constraints where we can't defend ourselves? And the Democrats are doing this. Why? Why are they taking such a hard stand? You got to ask that question. For votes? They don't care about people? I mean, wow. I mean, it's incredible to me. Now, Kurt, let's take an early break. And my head is spinning over here. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with Friends. Thanks for putting up with me today. I'm trying, gang. I hope I'm making sense to you.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hola, amigos. Brad Evans here. Check out this booming voice and Pat Boyle on BetMGM tonight, covering the biggest sports stories from coast to coast, live and interactive on the free Odyssey app, discussing NFL offseason news and getting you ready for the madness in college hoops. BetMGM tonight with me, Brad Evans and Pat Boyle, live and interactive, Monday through Friday night, starting at 6 Eastern, presented by BetMGM. Always live on the free Odyssey app and watch on YouTube at BetMGM tonight.
Hey, it's Dawn. Are you looking for a lawn care service that delivers great results and is safer for your family and your pets? That's why I chose Natural Lawn of America. That's my lawn care company. Their custom approach uses organic fertilizers and safer weed and insect controls, ensuring a healthier lawn season after season. Right now, take advantage of their limited time offer, free seeding every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED today. Choose my lawn care company, Natural Lawn of America. Greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Living here is about more than just the headlines. It's the new restaurant opening in Fishtown. It's the playoff energy at the bank. It's the festivals that make your neighborhood feel like home.
KYW News Radio brings you the pulse of the Delaware Valley. From service journalism that solves problems to stories that celebrate our culture, we cover the life you're actually living.
Authentic, local, factual. KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news source.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
Hola, amigos! Brad Evans here. Check out this booming voice and Pat Boyle on BetMGM tonight, covering the biggest sports stories from coast to coast, live and interactive on the free Odyssey app, discussing NFL offseason news and getting you ready for the madness in college hoops. BetMGM tonight with me, Brad Evans and Pat Boyle, live and interactive, Monday through Friday night, starting at 6 Eastern, presented by BetMGM. Always live on the free Odyssey app and watch on YouTube at BetMGM tonight.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
Yes, indeedy, I am back. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. On a beautiful Sunday morning, we have some sun. I just can't wait to get home, get into bed, and just watch a little TV and rest. But I do want to tell you something that bothers me. Every single crime scene is the same, meaning a shooting takes place. And here's how it goes. Every single one. Well, we're so sorry for the family. And our prayers go out to the community. This just doesn't seem to happen here. And then the stupid questions start to come from the reporters. The crime is committed. It's one and done. But we don't have stuff like this here, really. I have to tell you the truth. When are we as Americans going to care about the value of American lives, especially kids? When? I mean, you know, if you sit and look, we don't have, I hate to tell you, we don't have enough jails in this country. And when we put him in jail, we let him out early. You saw there was a gentleman, I forget the guy's name. He was in jail for like 11 years. They let him out after 7 years, committed another crime, killed somebody. We don't have enough insane asylums. You know, Byberry is closed. We don't have any of these kind of facilities. We have too many people that need help, and we just let them roam the streets until they do something wrong. We need tougher sentences, for God's sakes, don't we? I mean, we need to keep the homeless list off of our streets. The mentally challenged, what are we doing for them? There's too many of them. You know, once we left that open border up, for God's sakes, that the open border open and all of these people came in, what a monster job to go round these people up. I think that that we've done a good job, but I think there's so much more to do. So those are just some of my thoughts. Another thing, too, when are we going to insist for churches, synagogues and schools, armed guards at the front door? And the Democrats, I know that's all they do is tell you how bad that looks. I'd rather save a life and let it look bad. That's the position that we're in today. And you can see there's a lot of lone wolves out there, and there's a lot of sleeper cells. And I am concerned that we are heading to a 9/11 again. And you should be concerned, too. We've seen the craziest crimes. Guys get in a car and mow people down, school shootings. Do I have to tell you? You know what I'm referring to. So I just think that I pray that that they do something shortly with the SAVE Act, because FEMA, TSA, the Border Control, and the Coast Guard, as I say, they need to be funded, and that is that. Kurt, you know, let's go play a few clips. You know, I'll tell you what's amazing to me. Donald Trump has his hands full. I've never met or seen a guy that's his age that is so well intact mentally. I mean, the guy doesn't sleep. He's got all the energy in the world. And somebody was questioning, and I don't remember who it is, and I'm too sick to think about it, but I want you to listen to this clip where one of the journalists on TV is questioning the mental capacity of Donald Trump. That's all they have to think about. Could we run clip one?
Harris's numbers are dropping in the polls, and she just said in her own words, you saw the tape there, there is no difference between her and Joe Biden. The Biden policies, Bidenomics, all the things they champion are destroying the country, and everybody knows that, and that's why Donald Trump is elected. Republicans are going to win the Senate and the House.
Mr. Speaker, we should note that FEMA funds were actually redirected on Donald Trump's watch to deal with the migrant issue. Let me ask you, you mentioned the medical records.
No, ma'am. No, wait a minute. No, that's hold on, wait a minute. Wait, facts are important. Yep. That is a new program program that started in 2020 under Joe Biden. That funding wasn't necessary under Trump's administration because we secured the border. We didn't invite illegal aliens and dangerous people into the country. That's a Biden-Harris policy, and everybody knows it.
Mr. Speaker, it did happen under Donald Trump's watch, but let me just ask you about medical records since you raised them.
No, Kristen,
Should Donald
we
Trump
did not.
release
That
all
is
of his medical
a brand
records?
new account.
Should Donald Trump release all of his medical records,
he
Mr.
has.
Speaker?
He issued the records of his physicians. Kamala Harris issued her medical records as diversion because she's desperate because she's sinking in the polls. Donald Trump's health is on display. Everyone in America can see it. The man works nonstop. He never quits. He probably sleeps 4 hours a night. He doesn't require as much sleep as the average person. He's an unusual figure. And this is the strength that we need in a time like this. We're in the most dangerous moment since World War II. You have to have strength.
Can you imagine? That's all this lady has to worry about. We're in a war. We've got shootings in our street. We have a lot of unrest. And she's worrying about the mental capacity of Donald Trump. You have to be kidding. This is why we can't trust the media. We can't value the media. We can't believe in the media. I mean, just none of this makes any sense to me. Does it make any sense to you? I don't think so. And then I now want to run another clip. We're going to run clips throughout the balance of this show because I have things that I want to go over with you, and they're portrayed through the clip. This is the clip where Governor Walz and Attorney General Ellison is being questioned by Nancy Mace of the cover-up of Minnesota. And you know what's incredible? Ellison, who is the, I guess you would call him the Attorney General of Minnesota, is laughing. And Walt sounds like an idiot. I mean, an all-out idiot. Can you imagine 79 million people voted for this clown with Kamala Harris? 75 million. That doesn't make any sense to me. So what that means to me is when we talk about polls today, polls about the war, what do I care about what the polls are telling me? Most of these people are clueless about what's happening in this country today. So I have to worry about what they think. Let's run this clip from Nancy Mason. Just listen to this and listen to how dopey these people are. And the taxpayer was taken for a ride. And the question comes, is anybody ever going to be accountable for? Let's play clip 2.
Chair now recognizes Ms. Mace from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for being here today. Governor Walz and Attorney General Ellison, you have presided over one of the worst government fraud scandals in American history. This was money intended to feed hungry children, help kids with autism, provide food and shelter and health care to the needy, and more. You both allowed billions in these American taxpayer dollars to be pillaged and plundered by Somali pirates. You knew this was happening. You chose to do nothing about it, and in some cases, you even enabled it. Attorney General Ellison, you even profited from this fraud by taking campaign donations from these Somalians after pledging to help quash the investigation into them. I find your behavior despicable. My questions this morning, my first go to Governor Walz, and I hope you learned some lessons from your last hearing with me on the Oversight Committee. Have you learned anything since then?
I did, that if I didn't speak up, 2 of my people would be dead, Congresswoman, and I warned you.
Okay, Governor Walz, what is a woman? Have you learned that lesson? Do you know what a woman is?
Here we go.
I'm the governor of Minnesota, Congresswoman.
You know what a
I'm not
woman
here
is?
to be your prop for your obsession.
So
I
if you
taught middle
can't
school, your
define what a
obsession.
woman is, you certainly can't define what fraud is. If you can't even define what a woman is, you can't define fraud. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2017, Governor?
I don't have those numbers in front of me, Congresswoman.
Did you prepare for this hearing today? Did you do any preparation
I take
for this hearing
Congress
today?
seriously.
And you've seen the numbers about autism fraud in Minnesota. So we're going to do some Minnesota math with you today, okay? Are you ready? How much money was spent on 2017 for autism in Minnesota? How much?
I don't know. I wasn't the governor.
Okay. Did you not just say that you prepared for this hearing today? $1 million, okay? A quick Google search or using your AI could tell you $1 million was spent. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2024?
I don't have the number in front of me. As
Were you governor
I
in
don't-
2024?
I was, but I'm not the
Okay,
head
so
of
your
HHS.
excuse before that you didn't know what 2017 autism numbers were because you were not governor, and today you
Watch
can't answer
this
the
and
numbers
listen
about
to this.
2024
How much of an
as governor. And you still said you prepared for this hearing today. It's unbelievable. $343 million was spent in 2024. What percent increase is that from 1 million to 343 million? What percentage increase is that?
I'm not here to be your prop. Go ahead and tell me.
Well, are you governor of Minnesota or not?
Yes, I am. I'm
okay,
not.
well,
I'm
when
not
I'm
a prop
governor of
for a
South
member of
Carolina,
Congress.
you can sure as hell
All right,
bet
Kurt.
that I'm going to know the map.
That was great. These people are being elected, and they're in powerful positions in our country, and we keep electing them. We just keep electing them. I mean, here was a case in Minnesota where all this money disappeared, and like Rosie Hawn says here on the chat line, none of these hearings produce anything. You know, that's almost kind of like how I feel. I wonder, are we actually going to hold these people accountable? This week or so in Philly, in City Hall, I want to play a clip about voter ID. Can we pull up clip 3, Kurt?
It's amazing how I needed a photo ID to come into City Hall today. It's amazing how all in the black neighborhoods, the Democrats allow all of these liquor stores to remain. You had to have photo ID to go buy alcohol. It's amazing. For the years and the generations, y'all want families to raise kids and families on Section 8 housing, welfare, cash assistance. You need photo ID to get all of these things.
Of course.
So this is all things the Democrats support. We want Governor Josh Shapiro to clean up the voter rolls.
Yep, that's good enough. Here's a gentleman went into City Hall and said it the way it is. I mean, it's an insult to tell white people, black people, any people that you can't get ID. You cannot get through this country. You can't get on a bus. You can't get on a train. You can't get on a plane. You can't get into certain buildings. You can't get into City Hall. You can't go anywhere without ID, and you're going to insult a group of people and tell them that that you're not capable of getting ID. And that's what we pronounce to our citizenship. Anybody, minority or not, should be insulted, and this guy was insulted that you can't get ID, you need ID, and that you can't get it. This situation, this SAVE Act, I'm praying. I don't know how it's going to go through, and as I say, I don't know how FEMA. We're not even paying FEMA right now. If there's a catastrophe, we're in trouble. Kurt, let's keep going. I'm having a little bit of fun today. Let's go to clip 4. I don't remember. I think it was about illegal immigrants, but let's keep going, and we'll comment as we go along.
Democrats always like to tell us that illegal immigrants are not getting a dime of taxpayer dollars in the form of welfare.
Yeah.
But look at this brand new testimony under oath, and you decide for yourself.
Sanctuary states typically have other policies that attract illegal settlement and thus burden taxpayers with support of illegal immigrants. Besides funding emergency health care and schooling for all, a number of sanctuary states go farther and choose to provide Medicaid, subsidized health insurance, nutrition assistance, housing, and much more. Illegal immigrants use these welfare programs in large numbers. My organization has found that over 60% of illegal alien-headed households are using at least one form of welfare program, and usually more than one, at a cost of tens of billions of dollars to taxpayers. This is why any resources spent on immigration enforcement actually save taxpayer money in the long run.
Yep.
I think that settles it right there.
That's good enough. What this lady is saying, Jessica Vaughn, is she's actually saying that we are paying out a boatload of money to people that have come in this country for all these benefits, and we're paying for it. And the people that have worked so hard, our taxes keep going up and up and up, and we're paying for these illegals. And so all of these people that we're being told that are coming here to work and their value to this country, I've said it on the air, and I'll continue to say it. To me, you don't work, you don't eat. Of course, there's exceptions, but here's the point. If we did away with Section 8 housing, food stamps is a joke because people get them and then sell them, so half the people, don't even use them, for God's sakes. If we did away with all these freebies that Lyndon Baines Johnson instilled years ago, how much better off would this country be? We don't need to bring in all these people from other countries. Let them come through the front door, okay, so for whatever it's worth. But we need to take and propel the people that live here and give them a better life. So therefore, I'm with Donald Trump. Let's bring businesses here. It's going to cost more money to produce goods, but it's going to also produce higher salaries. I'd rather have higher salaries with more goods and more of a valued life than the way it is. And besides that, I am not interested in doing business the way we are with China. China's our enemy. We have done a great job in building up their economy. I think and have been foolish. Kurt, let's take a break. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. A sick crew, me and Kirk. But you know something? We've got 15 minutes left, and we ain't going anywhere. See you on the other side of the break.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
Hey, it's Joe Giglio. Join me at the Keswick Theater on Saturday, April 18th as I host Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra in the story of Philly sports put to music. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
JoeConklin.com! Oh. If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait, and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When it comes to your home, you shouldn't have to roll the dice with a small contractor or pay the high prices of a giant one. At Lemus Remodeling Group, a family-owned company, you get the perfect balance. Expert exterior remodeling from a team that's nationally recognized and neighborhood trusted. From roofing and siding to windows, doors, and gutters, the Lemus team delivers quality work, honest pricing, and a home that feels brand new. Call 610-GO-LEMUS to schedule your free consultation today or visit their website at golemus.com. Lemus Remodeling Group. Trust Lemus for a lifetime.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
If you love sports, this is the show for you. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos. Weekday mornings 9 to noon Eastern on the free Odyssey app and YouTube at The Costos. Bringing you the biggest NFL news, guests, and notes from the offseason while getting you ready to win the madness of college hoops. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos. Live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern. Presented by BetMGM. Download the Odyssey app and listen from anywhere for sports talk from people who love sports.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Yes, indeedy, we are back. Meaning Kurt on the other side, can I tell you, has to put up with me all the time, whether I'm healthy or not. I have to tell you, I look at the chat line, and I want you to know I appreciate you guys. I would love to be on for another hour. I have so many things that I want to talk to people about, and I wish people would call in. I mean, people are shy, even my friends. They don't even want to call in. I said, call in. What the heck's the difference? And yes, I am going to get some chicken soup and see what I could do to make me feel better. But a few things that I do want to touch base with. I want it thoroughly understood. If energy costs go up a little bit because what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz, that's the way life goes. We already have seen energy costs up high. We lived through that through the Biden years. It will come down. It's like anything else. I have to tell you something. And I say this, and I guess I laugh about it because I don't like to say disparagingly things about my people. When Moses went up to the sacred land to get the 10 Commandments, he already took all these people, all these Jews out of Egypt, went up there to get the 10 Commandments. It took a little longer, okay? He came down. The disciples and the people were worshiping idols again. He threw the 10 Commandments down, broke them, and those people wandered in the desert for the next 40 years. People, I'm asking you, and I know the Republicans, and this is a conservative radio station, so I don't have to address to you. I'm asking you to give this guy and this administration some time. Let them do what they have to do. The biggest thing is the way that we fight wars today is different. You have drones. We have taken out their missiles. We have taken out a lot of their capacities and their ships. Have a little faith. If energy goes up a little bit, trust me, ships will start rolling out. It's just no different than any other commodity. It goes up and it goes down. Okay? It's just everything is going to be cool. Just sit still. Another thing that really perturbed me this week, when Jesse Jackson passed away, at the funeral service, his son asked the politicians that showed up, please, if you're giving a eulogy to my dad and my pop, please don't talk about politics here. Because Donald Trump as well was a friend of my dad, and this is not a political scene. What did they go do? Kamala Harris, Obama. I don't know so much about Clinton. Obama, as I say. I mean, give me a break here. These people they don't care about anything or anybody. They're not sympathetic. And it just unnerved me to no end. Also, I will say this. I am always looking for great guests to put on this show. People, I'd love to talk to gentlemen that fought in the Vietnam War. I'd love to talk to women that have been abused and how they survived those kind of situations. I would love to talk about so many different things that I think we all find interesting. So if you have an interest, Kurt, I don't know. I guess how do they get in touch with me?
They can DM me on or Twitter.
Tell us
Kirk,
how.
You can DM me at Kirk Corliss, or you can email me. It's my first. It's KIRK.CORLESS@Odyssey.com. You can reach me by email, or you can DM me on Twitter.
There you go. Yeah, because to me, I want to develop interesting things to people on a Sunday morning. I don't want to be all that heavy, but I will tell you this much, and what I've learned, and if you get a chance, I know it's not always interesting, if you get a chance to watch the professionals like General Keane and people of that nature, The Economist, and people that have fought as Navy SEALs and in the Army, and to listen to these people as to what they're saying. We are fighting a miraculous situation. Iran is not a small piece of land. I mean, there's 90 million people there, and they're trying not to kill civilians. So I have to really tell you the truth. We have to be a little patient. I mean, if this was up to a lot of people, they'd bomb the whole country. Psst, that would be it. Go home. There wouldn't be anything to do. So we're not interested in killing people like that. How much more time we have? We have another minute. Let's play one more clip. Give me the clip 5, please.
Listen to this Republican senator positively destroy the little Biden-Harris official that came to speak.
Do you think it should be a crime to enter the country illegally?
Oh, boy.
Hello?
I don't know anything about this.
Doesn't know
anything.
No,
Budgets with the budget.
Go ahead.
You don't have to, look, I'm not a lawyer. You don't have to be a lawyer. It's a simple question.
Yeah.
Should it be a crime? I'll say it slowly. Should it be a crime to enter the United States of America
This is a gentleman that
illegally?
votes, for God's sakes.
I don't know
Without
anything
permission.
about this.
Do you have a home?
I run.
Listen to this.
Do you have a place that you sleep in?
I sleep somewhere.
Okay. Should it be a crime for people to enter your home without permission?
Yes.
You're pretty certain on that one?
Yes.
Okay,
Get
but you're
that.
not sure if it's okay to enter America without permission, which is our home, by the way. You don't know about America. Okay, gotcha. All right, so this is the best the Democrats can come up with, Mr. Chairman.
This is a witness for the Democratic Party. I don't know how they put these buffoons up. I mean, here's a guy that we know that the borders need to be closed. All we need to do is if we need people to come into this country for whatever the reasons are, where there's laws on the books. So as far as I'm concerned, let's abide by those laws. Let's live by those laws. In my world, we need to go back to the laws that this country was developed and the Constitution. I will leave you with this thought. It bothers me to no end that we have a lot of kooks walking in the street. I don't like when I smell pot in the streets or weed. I just don't like it. And I'm sure you feel the same way. So what I'm saying is, for whatever it's worth, let's work together somehow. Democrats, please get on board. Do I hear music? Are we ready to say goodbye? We are? Give me my music a little louder so I could hear it. Give me some energy. Listen, Philly, thanks for joining me on this Sunday morning. Sick and all, Delaware Valley.
Struggling with hearing loss? Do friends and family complain that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to repeat themselves? If you want to hear clearly again, but don't want a bulky